everyone, and welcome to this episode of Rook's Entertainment Roundup. I'm Bob Rook. Our guest got his musical theater start right here in Lincoln, and since then has gone on to appear as the Beast in the national tour of Beauty and the Beast, Buddy in the national tour of Elf the Musical, and most recently as Billy Flynn in the national tour of Chicago. On September 11th and 12th, he returns home for an outdoor concert at the Mel at Telegraph, located smack dab in the middle of town. So it's called Live from Lincoln's Center. I'm proud to welcome our guest, New York resident Sam Hartley. Sam, thanks very much for being on. I appreciate it.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Lincoln native, done good. How long ago did you leave Lincoln?
I moved to New York in September of 2013.
Wow. What school did you go to when you were here?
I went to University of Nebraska, Lincoln, studied at the Johnny Carson School, Theater and Film.
And you went to what high school?
Lincoln North Star.
That's right. There'll be no prizes, but I just wanted to see if you knew that. When you get to New York, that's a whole new ball game. Tell everybody, how did you start? Did you dive in and just start auditioning right away, or how did it work out?
I moved on a Sunday. My first audition was Monday morning. I knew I wanted to jump in right away. I was maybe a little naive to jumping into the New York culture of it all. I came with a resume from Lincoln, Nebraska, where I got to play roles outside of my age range, maybe too young, a lot too old, which was kind of confusing to most casting directors in New York. So it took had a little growing pain for a while, but yeah, I think the first job I booked was maybe December or January of that, moving in September that first year.
What was that first job?
First job was a production of Into the Woods. I was Cinderella's Prince and the Wolf.
So, as I mentioned to the audience at the top of this segment, was the Beast the really first big snag that you got?
It was. That was not until summer of 2015. I had taught at a theater camp earlier that summer with one of the casting associates, who I didn't realize at the time was working on the tour. And she came up to me at the end of the tour, or at the end of that camp, we had a little showcase for all of the teachers. And she pulled me aside and she said, "Have you ever auditioned for The Beast?" And I said, "No." And she brought me in.
Wow. So it helps to who you know to kick that. And I have found that to be so true. As long as they can kick the door open a little bit, but you still got to be able to go in there and prove yourself and show your talent and show your gusto. So
absolutely.
How long did you do that role?
We were on the road for 44 weeks, no breaks. I think the longest break we had was 3 days off in 44 weeks. But just that one season, I was in the final tour of it before it closed.
Did you have was that something that you had to get used to be able to take care and prep your voice for that lengthy of a run?
Yeah, well, the thing I realized halfway through, because as actors, when our gig starts to end, we start looking ahead to the next one. So the tour is wrapping up in July. I'm starting to look at other shows, and I realized I don't know how to sing anything else. I can only sing the songs from Beauty and the Beast because that's all I've done in that almost full year. So that was a lesson to learn, that I needed to keep myself vocally agile for anything rather than just the one thing I was working on.
And I spent 12 years on the road, and I don't think people realize what a tough life that is. I mean, and I always don't like to crab and moan about it because I was always fortunate enough to get work. But I also think, living in the hotel for all day, and then I would go to work doing stand-up for an hour in the evening, and then I go back to the hotel. So a lot of it wasn't quite as, people were like, "Wow, that's awesome, I don't think you really understand that, it's not always the glamour that goes with it. And sometimes you get kind of homesick. Did you find any of that happening to you when you were on the road?
Definitely. You forget how important a kitchen is.
Right.
It is nice to
Or a
spend time,
laundromat.
right, right.
Yeah.
Right, sharing one single laundry room with an entire cat, or actually an entire hotel's worth of humans, is not as fun as you'd think. But
So then you went from the Beast. Then how soon was the break from the Beast to playing Buddy in Elf the musical?
so we closed Beauty and the Beast in July, and I started Elf that fall, that September, late
Wow.
September, early October.
You can't
So
get much more apples and oranges than the Beast and Elf.
right. Yeah.
That's got to be fun as an actor, though, to be able to totally do a 180 like that.
Totally. And I think actually it saved my voice to do something that was so different. And yeah, it was, I loved the movie Elf for many, many years. Never thought in 100 years I would ever play the role. So when they approached me about it, I was so excited to jump at the chance. And it all happened pretty fast. I got back in July, and I think had the role by August.
So you got to do, you're just coming off of the role of Billy Flynn, which is a great role in the one of my favorite musicals of all time, Chicago. And that role is full of what I call meat and potatoes. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of really good eating to do with that show because he has so many dynamics. And what I also love about Chicago is there's so many different ways you can stage it and interpret it.
Yeah.
Which as a director, sometimes that's not always the case. How did you enjoy that?
I loved it. I when it was announced that it was going to go, the tour was going to go back out, I thought I have to get in that room for something. Actually, my original appointment was for Amos. And I went in, did all of the Amos material, and the director said, "Can you go out in the hallway really quick?" And I thought, okay, I blew it. I'm not gonna. They're gonna send me home. And she came out in the hallway and she goes, "You're not an Amos, but do you want to do the Billy material?" And I thought, okay. So she handed me a packet, 16 pages. I came back in. I sight read all of the music. I just read through the scene with them, and then I had a final callback the next week for it. So it was something so unexpected and so exciting, and it's such an incredible production that has been in New York on Broadway since 1997. The fact that I get to be a part of that same production now is pretty remarkable, and it shows it stands the test of time.
Also shows that actors should be ready to be able to turn a 180 real quick in the audition process and not be so focused on one particular role.
Yep, absolutely.
And make it memorable, make your audition memorable. So you're in the middle of Chicago, everything's going great, and then this other C word comes down the pipeline called COVID.
Yeah.
And that kind of interrupts things, which kind of stinks on many levels, including the fact that you were going to be doing Chicago at the Lead Center in Lincoln and get to perform for people here that would like to see you.
Yeah, this would have been my 6th tour itinerary in the amount of time that I left. Never once in 6 itineraries have I made it to Nebraska. Every state around Nebraska, never Nebraska.
But now you do get to appear in Lincoln. Tell the audiences about that. That's coming up.
Could not be more excited. Live at Lincoln's Center. Going to be a fun outdoor concert. 2 nights, September 11th and September 12th. Just going to do, I've been thinking for years, boy, if I ever got the chance to do kind of my own cabaret concert storytelling night, what would I do? So, I think of this song and, oh, that would be a cool story. That would be a neat song. And now I finally have this chance to throw it all together, and couldn't be more excited to team with Tada to put it on, doing a little fundraiser for the Actors Fund, which is an incredible group that really helps the community all over the country, but especially my now home, New York.
Let's talk a little bit about the song order. The variation of this is great. Comedy, ballad, trunk songs, show tunes. Tell everybody what they can come out and see. We won't give everything away, but
Sure.
go ahead and give a little tease.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to do a little bit of all my favorites. Some roles that I've been able to play, some roles that I have yet to play, and then I had to do a few just really cool old crooner songs. And what's neat about this show is you look at other musicals and you think, skip that song, skip that song. So I tried to put songs you wouldn't skip, that hopefully will just be a nice evening. I want to laugh, I want to cry, the whole gamut.
We also want to talk that it's going to take place out at the Mill at Telegraph. So I think it's going to be wonderful to be able to offer somebody like you to be out on stage in Lincoln. Very affordable, great atmosphere, and the folks at the Mill are awesome to partner with.
Yeah, I love, it wasn't until I moved that Lincoln got the rail yard and expanded the Haymarket, and the new locations of the Mill popped up. And I will always love the original Haymarket Mill, but the Telegraph Mill is such a cool space.
And if people want to get reservations, do you recall the website?
TadaProductions.info. I was going to say
it. TadaProductions.info.
Trust yourself.
What's that?
I said, trust yourself. I was going to say it.
Well, Sam, what I would tell you is enjoy September 11th and 12th, because I know you and the performer that you are, and I'm getting to know you better. You're a great young gentleman to work with. That's going to make you go miles in this business. So I just want you to know that. And it's something else that your musical director commented on last night, saying that not only is he extremely talented, but he's extremely kind. So that goes miles. So I just want to tell our audiences that. Again, the website is tadaproductions.info to get your tickets, and reservations are required. Break a leg, my friend. It's going to be great, man.
Thank you so much. Can't wait.
I'm excited. Go out there and see Sam. And man, thanks for being on the new Roundup. I appreciate it.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
It's exciting. All right. That's Sam Hartley, everybody. And now here's the Roundup for this week. Hub and Soul Music Series continues at Union Plaza. Their website is hubandsoul.com. The Capital Jazz Society First Friday live stream featuring the Lightning Bugs takes place Friday night at 8 p.m. Log on to Facebook to enjoy the great music. Just a reminder that the International Quilt Museum has reopened. They're located on North 33rd Street. Enjoy the Food Truck Rodeo at the Lancaster Event Center. That takes place at 5 p.m. Friday night. Enjoy the great live outdoor musical concert live from Lincoln Center with nationally touring actor Sam Hartley at the Mill at Telegraph. It takes place for 2 nights only, Friday and Saturday, September 11th and 12th, and reservations are required at tadaproductions.info. The Farmers Market takes place in College View Sundays from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. And a reminder that the Mary Reitma Ross Media Arts Center has reopened. There's a variety of films being shown, and the best way to find out which ones are to log on to their website, theross.org. And that's the Roundup. Well, we want to thank you for watching this episode of Rook's Entertainment Roundup, and we also like to give a special thank you to our guest, Sam Hartley. Just a reminder to please subscribe to our page on YouTube and to also like us on Facebook. Until next time, everyone, have an entertaining weekend.